Welcome to 8th Street Northeast. Welcome to Atlas Theater, the community's Kennedy Center. 8th Street Northeast is a remarkable story. Back in the 60s, everyone knew about the Dr. King riots and what took place and how different neighborhoods went through a lot of disinvestment and was destroyed. People thought that it would take years for 8th Street to come back. But with hard work and community participation, dreams can come true. We have attracted over 300 new businesses, over 5,000 new jobs, over $6.5 billion worth of investment. We have done what a lot of urban neighborhoods thought was impossible. The Atlas Theater, the community's Kennedy Center, is a good example of that. This can happen in many urban neighborhoods. Our Mayor Bowser has played a large role in what we're doing. Yeah. And we really appreciate her and what she's doing and will continue to do. She's a good example of what many cities need. I would like to bring forth my mayor, Mayor Bowser.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to 8th Street Northeast, and let's give Anwar a big round of applause. He is super humble because he is at the forefront of making sure the transformation of 8th Street Northeast includes everybody. I'm Muriel Bowser. I'm the mayor of Washington, D.C., my hometown, the greatest city in the world, and soon to be the 51st state. Today we are here to talk about the future of D.C. and the future of our nation. Whenever Washingtonians engage in that conversation, we must start with righting a wrong. 700,000 Washingtonians do everything that Americans in the 50 states do every day. We pay taxes, actually more than our fair share of taxes. We serve in the military. We run our city well. Yet we do not have a vote in Congress. And as I said before, I was born without representation, but I will not die without representation. So we will march on until we achieve full voting rights in D.C. and statehood for Washington's 700,000 residents. Now, are you with me with that? Yeah. Washington, D.C. is more than just the Capitol and the White House. But because we host them, we hear about all the partisan bickering all the time. From the White House, we hear fear-mongering and we hear indecisiveness. But let me tell you why I am hopeful about the future of our nation. We can solve our nation's most pressing problems if we have the right leader in place to turn innovative ideas, or like I like to say, fresh ideas, into reality. And Mike Bloomberg is the only candidate who will unify our country and defeat Donald Trump and has a blueprint to rebuild America and improve the quality of life for all Americans. He is committed to giving every American a fair shot through his housing affordability and all-in economy plans, putting an end to gun violence with common sense gun reforms, and mitigating the causes of climate change. I've known Mike for many years, and I know firsthand his long-standing commitment to making cities stronger, more prosperous, and more inclusive. And that's why today I'm endorsing Mike Bloomberg to be President of the United States. So before I bring him out, he needs to hear from you. So do you want a candidate who will beat Donald Trump? Yes! I think Mike will get it done. Do you want a president who will empower cities to build and preserve more affordable housing? Yes! I think Mike will get it done. And do you want a president who will not relent until we pass common sense gun reform in our country. Mike will get it done. And do you want a president who will stand shoulder to shoulder with us on our march to statehood for Washington, D.C.? I know Mike will get it done. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming my friend and the next president of the United States, Mike Bloomberg.
Hi, guys. Well, thank you, Mayor Bowser, for that kind introduction, and I'm honored to have your support in this election. I particularly like the fact that you gave the introduction just the way I wrote it. But thanks for your leadership. The future of this city looks brighter than ever, and all of you should know, and if you live here, you certainly do, since Mayor Bowser took office, the city's schools have improved, the city's carbon emissions have shrunk, and the Nationals even won the World Series. Wait. When I was mayor of New York, the record shows the Yankees won the World Series, and the Giants won 2 Super Bowls versus the New England Patriots, but no New York team has won since I left. A coincidence? I don't know, just saying. No, you've got a good mayor. Now, White House, I hadn't thought about that. It's in Washington. We can do that. Yeah, I'd like that. It's a little bit early to measure the curtains, but that's okay. Now, there are 2 elected executives in Washington, the mayor and the president. But only one of them really understands what it means to lead on issues that matter to communities across America, like economic opportunity, sustainability, safe streets, good schools, equal rights, and affordable housing. And that's Mayor Bowser. Today, I want to focus on just one of those issues, and it's one where Mayor Bowser's done some bold and ambitious work, and that is housing. The lack of affordable housing is a growing crisis in every region of this country in communities of all sizes. Wages have not kept up with the cost of living, especially the cost of rent. And as a result, more and more Americans are struggling to make ends meet. And many are falling short and ending up without a proper roof over their head. Every day, more than 6,000 Americans are evicted, many of them with families with children. On every given day, about 600,000 Americans are homeless across our country. We just cannot accept that. In December, President Trump tweeted that fixing homelessness would be, quote, so easy with competence. Well, let's just say that competence is not his administration's strong suit. But the truth is they haven't even tried. And about the only time President Trump mentions homeless people is when he's attacking them. But that's about par for the course for this president. Attack and divide and accomplish nothing. Meanwhile, President Trump has slashed funding for housing, and now he wants to roll back the rules that President Obama created to prevent discrimination. We just can't afford another 4 years of this president. And that's why I'm running to defeat him and rebuild America. Today, our campaign is releasing the most comprehensive plan any candidate has put forward on affordable housing and homelessness. We will tackle the affordability crisis from every angle. Our plan will help ensure that every American can afford to pay rent without facing financial hardships. We will make sure that people who are going through hard times get assistance they need to avoid eviction and homelessness. We will help people who are homeless get back on their feet and into permanent housing. And we will also help more renters become homeowners, and will take action to eliminate discrimination in the housing marketplace. You know, through my foundation, I've worked to help mayors and local leaders make progress in each of these areas. The plan we're releasing today builds on what has worked in communities around the country and what we were able to accomplish in New York City. In New York, we were able to reduce street homeless by 28%, even in the aftermath of the Great Recession. We built or preserved more than 175,000 units of affordable housing. And we launched new programs to prevent foreclosure and homelessness, which became national models. Through my philanthropy, we've helped cities across this country take action. We've helped Syracuse reduce eviction for low-income renters. We've helped Mobile, Alabama rehabilitate blighting housing. We helped Atlanta develop bold plans to build affordable housing, and those are just a few of the places that we've worked. We made progress in New York, but we know we didn't totally solve those problems. And we know we could have done so much more with help from the federal government. And that is true of cities around the country who are grappling with affordability and homelessness. Our plan will provide cities and counties with the hope they need so we can extend assistance to millions more families and get to work building the millions of new affordable units we need to address this crisis. Help more low-income Americans become homeowners, because increase the number of black homeowners by 1 million and cut homelessness in half in 4 years nationwide. These aren't pipe dreams. We can do these things. Let me just describe a few of the steps we'll take to get there. First, ensuring every American can afford a home in their own community. Middle-class Americans are spending more and more of their income on rent, and a majority of renters with incomes below the poverty line spend more than half of their income on housing. Now, we have to do a lot more to raise incomes, and I've outlined some of the ways that I will do that, including the national minimum wage should go up to $15 per hour, and expanding the earned income tax credit to provide a bigger lift to working people. But that's just part of the solution. To tackle the affordability crisis, we also have to offer more support to renters. Rental assistance, like Section 8 vouchers, is an important way to do that. But today, the system isn't working for many of the people who need it most. Most of families who are eligible for a voucher don't have one, so they spend years and years on waiting lists. And some of those lists are so long, they're closed entirely to new applications. But the fact is, the vast majority of people on Section 8 waiting lists will wait and never get the help they need. That weight falls heaviest on those who need the most help. Imagine if we told the lowest income Americans that they are eligible for Medicaid, but that they need to get on a waiting list, or they're eligible for food stamps but need to get on a waiting list, or that their children are eligible for free lunch at school or Pell Grants for college, but they need to get on a waiting list first. We wouldn't stand for that, because they should be first in line. The same is true, yes, all right, as you can say, the same is true for housing vouchers, and in the Bloomberg administration, we will make that a reality. We will end the waiting list for those making 30% or less of the area median income, so that if you are eligible for rental assistance, you will get it, no more waiting. This will be a major change in the way we treat rental assistance, and it will double the number of people receiving vouchers from 3.5 to about 7.5 million. We'll also make rental assistance work better for the people it is supposed to help by making it more flexible and portable and easier to use. That will put money in renters' pockets, but we also need to put more shovels in the ground. In New York, we created a record amount of new affordable housing by increasing city funding, by attracting more private capital, and by knocking down barriers to construction of affordable housing, including antiquated zoning restrictions. We can make progress like that across this country by increasing funding for low-income housing tax credits and other federal financing, and by helping cities take action. We'll reward cities that are doing the best work to reduce restrictive zoning and other barriers to affordable housing. And we'll create incentives to fight economic and racial segregation by building more affordable housing in neighborhoods with higher average incomes and near to schools and mass transit. We'll also help more people who want to make the step from renting to owning by providing assistance with down payments through loans and by encouraging lenders to provide mortgages for low-cost homes. But the fact is, many families are just one crisis away from losing the homes that they already have. That's part 2 of our housing plan, preventing evictions and homelessness. We'll increase funding to cities for emergency assistance to prevent eviction. We'll expand grants to communities who are just working across jurisdictional lines to make an impact. High rent burdens and homelessness don't follow city limits. They are often regional challenges, and the best ways to make headway is to help local leaders work together. We can do so much more to prevent homelessness before it starts. But we also must do much more to help people who are homeless get back on their feet and stay off the street. Our administration will double the federal spending on homelessness. We'll target that funding on things that have been proven to work, like supportive housing that gets people into safe homes, where they can also get the help with substance abuse, mental health care, and other factors that lead to homelessness. And that includes more help for extremely vulnerable groups, like the elderly, which is a fast-growing homeless population, as well as the severely disabled. Fixing homelessness is not easy, even with competence. It's a big, complex challenge. But if cities have a strong and proactive partner in the federal government, we can make a lot of progress on homelessness and affordability and all of the big challenges facing our country. That's why, when I'm president, the doors of the White House will be open to mayors and local leaders like Mayor Bowser. And incidentally, during my presidency, I hope I can stop calling her Mayor Bowser and start calling her Governor Bowser. It is time for D.C. to become a state with full voting rights, and as president, I will work to Congress to make it happen. But first, we have to win a primary. So today I'm asking for your help, your support, and your vote. And I'm asking you to join our campaign for change, for sanity, for honesty, for inclusion, for compassion, and for human decency. Thank you. This is a campaign to build an America to be proud of, an America for all people, black, brown, white, urban, rural, suburban, gay, lesbian, and transgender. So let me leave you with this final thought. If you want quality and health insurance for everyone, if you want to make college more affordable and relieve the crushing burden of student loans, if you support my commitment to quality public education no matter what zip code you live in, if you share my belief in opportunity for all and not just for the few, if you are ready to defeat President Trump, and if you are ready to clean out the Oval Office and get things done, then welcome to Bloomberg 2020. Thank you, everyone. Thank you up back there. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Good job. Good job. Everybody.